Well, we are having technical problems today, people. Joy, my microphone was not working. There's no point me coming on if the microphone doesn't work. So, hopefully you can hear me and hopefully you can see me okay. If you can't, no good if I can't. If you can't, please message me to let me know. I have everything. Yeah, perfect. So, if anything happens, let me know. Hopefully it's okay now. So, where are we? Let me have a look. Let me see what we are talking about today. So I'm all over the place now. Let's go. So hello and welcome to this week's Natural Gardening Live with me, Josie Rainbird, your natural gardening coach. I apologise for the delay and everything that's happening. So bear with me today. So today we are talking about, what are we talking about today? 5 trends which will help you to reduce the cost, stress and effort involved in garden care. So we're talking about the trends that are coming into 2023. So we're following on from 2022 or kind of new ones that are picking up speed as we go into 2023. So that's what we're talking about today. Hopefully they'll help you. So 2022 has been a year for money saving, time saving, getting more from your garden, that kind of thing. So 2023 is looking like it's going to be following on with more of the same, but also support, motivation and inspiration behind it all. So it's really good. So 2023 looks like it's going to help us get more from our garden, help our garden support us more effectively, which is really good, while spending less when it comes to time and money, which is perfect. So as I say, in this week's Natural Gardening Live, I'm talking about the 5 new and not so new trends which will help you to successfully grow your garden whilst reducing the cost, stress and effort involved in garden care. So that's right up our alley, kind of our speed here on Gardening Naturally with Green Fingertips. So I hope you take some good ideas away from today's live, or at least a little bit of inspiration to head into 2023. So let me see if we've got anything happening so far. So that's perfect. Everything's, don't want to say the words, but everything seems to be okay. We're good. So let me know in the comments. Let me know what trends or ideas you picked up from like this year, from the beginning of 2022, 2021, coming into 2022, that you kind of kept and you're going to follow through with them through into 2023. So what ideas and trends did you kind of latch onto, if you like the idea of? So I did a trends video, kind of like I'm doing now, but around the same time last year, I think it was. For the same idea, so the trends that are coming through from 2021 into 2022, and how they were going to affect you as a gardener, and just different ideas that were coming out. So I did this video round about this time last year. I'll put the link, I'll try and find it because it's a year ago. I'll find it, put the link in the description in the comments after this live, so you can find that and check that out. It'd be a good comparison to see what trends you remember and actually they have weathered the year, if you like. They've lasted all year and they've actually become more of a habit for you, an actual way of life, rather than just a little trend that kind of came and went like some of them do. So let me know in the comments. So there are lots of new trends finding their way into 2023. Some of which are quite faddish, like they have been in the past. All trends will be a kind of either keepers or a bit faddish, kind of like that. And some of them I can definitely get on board with, which is great, which is why I've created these 5 or picked these 5 out. So I can really get on board with them. Some are much more sustainable and follow or lead the way, moving towards environmentally conscious decisions making when it comes to like the way we live, recycling, repurposing, reusing, that kind of thing. So some of the trends are really more sustainable like this, which is really good. These trends are really going to make a difference to the way we garden in the coming year, and they will save us a fortune as well, which is always good, unlike on the cost of living, utility, like energy bills, if you like, that sort of thing. The price increases across the board. So these is why I picked these 5 today. I could have gone 10, maybe 20 trends. There are quite a few nice trends that I could have picked for you guys today, but I've just stuck with 5 because I'd be here all night and nobody wants that, so it's fine. So now 5 trends, these 5 trends I've selected, as I can see them really making a difference to the way we garden in 2023 and how they can affect our outgoing costs, which is kind of the thought of the year at the moment. Outgoing costs. How can we save money where we can? How can we make gardening more cost effective? That's the right way of saying it. So I've picked these 5 for that reason, and how they can kind of make life easier for you in the garden, reduce work, effort, that kind of thing. So let me have a quick drink before we get going. Hopefully we're doing all right. Seems to be okay. Smashing job. Okay, so before I get going, I want to just say hello to everyone here joining me on YouTube today. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't already, please, if you're enjoying the fiasco that's happening so far, if you like this video, if you get value from this video, if you learn something from this video, please give us a thumbs up. It helps like YouTube to spread green fingertips across the board, and tell more people about me. So if you like it, give us a thumbs up. Very important. And if you want to see more of my lives, if you are new to the channel or anything like that, if you haven't already, subscribe, because then you can see my videos as they come out, and it shows your support for the channel. So I really appreciate that. Always appreciate it. So that's the first bit. And I would just want to say also hello to everybody in the Natural Garden Coaching Group for joining me today. My wonderful people. And yeah, and thank you very much for being with me tonight. So that housekeeping out of the way, let's get on with the trends. So oh yeah, and if I mention any resources, any videos or anything like I did the trends video, I will post everything in the description and the comments, so you can see those and pick those up after the live. So you can, that's all fine. So you can see all of that. So that I will do after the live today. I'll find the links for everything and I'll post them on there, so you can check those out later on. So that's fine. So that's housekeeping done now, I promise. So trend number 1. Let me find myself. Okay, so trend number 1, making your space work harder for you. So making your garden work harder for you. So this is kind of a trend that's definitely grown legs since lockdown. It's been kind of floating around in different forms for a while, but it's gone from like organization to like best use or for best planning for a small garden, that kind of thing. But making your space work harder for you is the best I've heard it described as. So it's really good. So yeah, it's one hell of a trend. It's definitely growing legs since lockdown, and it's a bit of a broad. It is a bit broad. In fairness, it's a bit broad to be called a trend, but we'll go with it. We'll go with it. So it's fine. It's quite a good one. So I'm quite happy to go with it. So we're all looking to get more of our gardens from like a barbecue entertainment area in the garden, like patio area, whatever, that you can use all year round, with the exception of the horrible weather we've had recently, the snow and the rain, and which is, no one wants to be out there in this weather, so that's fine. But yeah, we can use it basically all year round. It get a lot more mileage out of the area that you've got, and planting that can help your garden to look colourful and fresh even in the depths of winter. So, or the alternative to that is like desert hot summer we've just had. So yeah, so having planting that can be that can tolerate all sorts and really look nice all the time, so called less effort involved, but you get a lot more out of your garden. So we demand a lot from our gardens at the best of times, and this trend will really help us to achieve more with little space and little resources sometimes as well to call on. So this trend can also go a long way to supporting the ecosystem in your garden, which is a really good point I wanted to make. It's why I like it so much. So it can also go a long way to supporting the ecosystem in your garden by having a variety of plants growing in all 4 seasons. So rather than just aimed at spring and summer, you're supporting the ecosystem in the soil as well, as the insects that visit your garden and live in your garden, the wildlife that lives and visits your garden, and will promote the overall health of your garden by becoming, they will support each other. These different plants growing in different times of year will support each other. They'll become companion planting for each other as well. So this all works really well together. Having plants growing in all 4 seasons really can help to create a little support system that become companion planting for each other. So it's really good. And so it's really nice to see a trend that isn't just colour and twinkle lights. It really is, because some of the ones that have come through this year, which I'll maybe I'll go into in a minute. If there's time at the end, I'll mention a few that are really like very nice, but they're not my kind of trends. Let's put it that way. They're not my kind of trends. If there's time at the end, if we don't go on too long, I will I'll mention a few. So yes, it's really nice to see that it's not just colour and twinkle lights involved. That it really can help to support the overall health of your garden and like the ecosystem, the entire ecosystem of your garden. So it's really nice. Trend number 2, a sanctuary in your garden and promoting the connection of nature. So this is a really nice trend, and I love this because I love this anyway, not just as a trend, but as a way of life. This is really nice. This is right up my street. So a sanctuary garden, now that has a trend, has been floating around easily since lockdown, if not long before. It backs the physical and mental health support that nature and time spent in the gardens, the woods, the parks, anything like that has been proven to provide for us. So that's kind of off of the back of that. So sanctuary gardens and promoting the connection to nature. We know it's been scientifically proven that nature and like the green in the world can provide a lot of benefits for us. Having this kind of space at home, especially as we're working from home more. For many years now, we've been working from home more and can struggle to disconnect from work particularly after a stressful day. We can struggle to disconnect if we're working from home. So it can really be difficult. It can be difficult when you don't work at home. So just saying. So after a particularly stressful day, a natural, safe, calming space can help you to reset and refocus on what's important to you at the time, or at the moment in time anyway. It can help you to disconnect as well from the things that are stressing you out. So it's really important to have this kind of space at home, whether it's in your garden or not. But the garden does hold a lot more benefits, if you like, for you. Words aren't working today. My brain's not working. It can also help to reduce blood pressure, which is amazing. This is all scientifically proven as well. It can help you to reduce blood pressure, release endorphins to make you feel happier, which is amazing, and much more positive about life, which is great, and has been proven to reduce anxiety. So all very good things, and that's just the effect nature can have on you when you're sit outside and you just have that time, that quiet time away. So just taking a few minutes to regroup in a space that can make, in this kind of space, in this natural kind of space, can make all the difference to your mood and tolerance for other people as well. Now, when I wrote that, it didn't mean to sound quite so bad, but it's true. It can improve your tolerance for people. In a time of year that we know we're going to be around people for Christmas, and even when you go to work, if you're a particularly stressed person, you don't have a lot of tolerance for people. So it is quite beneficial to everybody around you and yourself to have a space like this to just improve your mental capacity, if you like. So yes, but I didn't mean to sound quite as bad as that. Your tolerance for people. Yes, we all know. So it's very important. So a few elements that you can introduce into your sanctuary garden could be, I don't know why I did air quotes there because it's not air quotable. It's fine. So a few elements you can introduce could be calming, cool colours. So green is a very good calming colour. It's very good at naturally, as soon as we look into like sit in the woods or look out into the garden, it tends to have a calming effect on us. Green is a very good calming colour. So incorporating calming colours into the area of your garden or place that you want to sit, that can really help. Incorporating water as well. So whether it's moving water like a bubbling fountain or a stream, or like a pool of water or anything like that. Water is very calming and can have a very calming effect on us. The croak started. Scented herbs can also have a really calming effect. So herbs such as like lavender, sage, thyme, chamomile, these scents can help to calm and de-stress, and will attract, which is what I love, will attract a mass of beneficial insects to your garden, which can help support the plants and overall health of your garden. So not only can this sanctuary garden and connection to nature help to recenter you and refocus you and de-stress, but de-stress, de-stress, not distress you at all. We want to go the other way, de-stress. There's a hyphen there, de-stress. But it can also help to support the overall health of your garden. Amazing. So that is number 2. I forgot where I am already. Trend number 3, drought-friendly gardening. Gardens in general, really, not gardening. Drought-friendly gardens. Okay, so with the onset of last summer, I am going a bit quick. I do understand that. So if you need me to slow down, let me know. So trend number 3, drought-friendly gardens. With the onset of this summer, you know what the summer was like. It was brutal, especially as it went on quite late as well, which was really lovely. It was really nice to have such a warm summer, but it was very warm. It was very warm, even for me, and I do like a warm summer. So this summer, the way the climate's looking at the moment and the way it's looking to change over the coming years, it's very important to look at how we can change our gardens to suit the environment. Not staying stuck in the way of each season should start at a certain time and go on for a certain period. And this is the weather we get in this season and la la la. We need to be more flexible and be more fluid with it and see what's coming and then understand how we can change. So this summer proved a point that the climate is changing. No matter what way you dress it up, it is changing and it's going to change because that's nature. That's the way of the world, unfortunately. So things do change. So it's really important to stay quite fluid with it. Now, I will get to the point in a minute, I promise. So having gardening like this will naturally reduce the stress on your plants, reduce the stress on the insects living on the garden, and it will reduce the stress on your soil. So managing the water stored in the soil, it can help to manage how much water your plants need to take up as well. So it's really good to be quite fluid and understand how the environment is changing and the weather is changing to plant your garden up accordingly, effectively, or grow your garden accordingly, or manage your garden accordingly. Any of the above. So this trend of growing drought-friendly plants or plants that can tolerate drought much better than they can tolerate overwatering, not so much the desert plants. If you're thinking about like Mediterranean plants, silvery leaves, quite fine, like lavenders and rosemaries, that kind of thing. Not so much like the desert plants, but they will come into this category as well. You can get some really nice green, lush looking plants that tolerate drought just fine. So I have some examples for you to give you a bit of optimism, if you like. So sedums, geraniums and pelargoniums, osteospermums, they're really good. And these can all tackle drought, tolerate drought. I don't know why I said tackle. Tolerate drought while looking very bright and green and cheerful. If you've seen an osteospermum, you can see the array of colours that they can come in. You can have a really bright and cheerful garden that can tolerate like no water for weeks. Absolutely fine. Geraniums are very, so pelargoniums are very, can be very bright colours as well, and really good flowers on them. And they would tolerate bone dry environments quite happily. So these 3 or 4 plants that I mentioned there can really bring some colour to your garden without needing any kind of watering or anything, really. They're very tolerant of drought and they will tolerate drought much more efficiently, much better than they can tolerate being overwatered. So they really don't like being overwatered. So you get some really good colour with these as well. You can also include lavender as well, and you can include rosemary. And we know that rosemary creates a really nice small blue flower, which looks lovely, can create a really nice shrub. So, you know, there's all sorts of different plants that you can plant in your garden that will tolerate drought. So this trend has the power to save you a lot of money on your water bill, which we know is one of the killers at the moment with the price of everything. So it can save you a lot of money on your water bill. If you water via the hosepipe, that is. If you obviously save rainwater, that's all the better as well. That can save you even more money on your water bill. After last summer, we completely ran out of our 4 water butts that I've got and bins of water that I had completely emptied. So I had to go to the hosepipe in the end. And then we had a hosepipe ban. So then I couldn't even use the hosepipe. So this would have been really helpful, having some more drought-resistant plants in the garden. It would have really helped in that frame of mind, but I didn't have that many. I've got quite a few, but not significantly enough to make the garden look beautiful. while we had a hosepipe ban. Just saying. So this trend has the power to save you a lot of money on your water bill if you water via the hosepipe, and can also save a lot of effort in the garden. So it can be extremely low maintenance as well, which is really good. They need little care and can be left to it basically quite happily. All you need to do is deadhead them every now and then a little bit of maintenance, but basically they can be left to it. Absolutely fine. So that was drought-friendly gardening. So for the people in the group, in the Natural Garden Coaching group, I will be posting this. I'm doing posts related to the trends I'm talking about today in the group. So if you're not in the group, if you're on YouTube, I will link the group as well in the description for you. But if you are in the group, look out for the posts in the week, because I'll be posting them so you can have a little bit more information on these different trends that are coming out and how they can support you and your garden. So where are we? Number 4. Can't find number 4 now. I just scooted up the page. Trend number 4. There we go. Sustainability. Now, this again is a very broad one, but sustainability when it comes to your garden. So this is a nod to the ongoing trend of recycling, reusing, and repurposing. So now this trend, I don't think this is so much a trend anymore, so much as a way of life. Just saying. So yeah, it's a nod to the ongoing trend of recycling, reusing, and repurposing, making single use into multi-use, and using resources around you to get more for free. Perfect. Sustainability could have been described a little bit more narrowed down just a little. Sustainability is very broad, but we'll go with it. So croak. I can feel the croak. I apologize. Hopefully I sound okay. Hopefully you can hear me. Just saying. If you've been on here longer than just this live, you'll know I like to talk about free and sustainable resources available right to your garden, the resources that you can use to support the health of your garden, manage pest and disease damage, feed your plants, while saving you money, time and effort in your garden. So I like to talk about this quite often. There's quite a few videos I've done on the different like feeds and treatments that you can make from natural resources, all sorts of things, recycling, repurposing, reusing different things. So I've done that. Any videos that I can think of that are related to that, I will put in a playlist and I'll link in the description for you so you can see that. But feel free to check through my videos. They'll be there. So recycling feeds into this amazingly, and I have, as I say, I've got a few videos on like composting as well, so that's good. So sustainability is a trending, I want to say phrase, is a trending phrase, can't say words today, I'm sorry. Sustainability is a trending phrase, but not phrase, but it is becoming quite important to a lot of people and is growing in strength, so it's really good. As I said, it's quite a broad spectrum word. It needs to be narrowed down a little bit for what we're talking about today. So, but it is quite a good trending phrase, if you like. Living more sustainably as a way of life, not so much as how you're going to garden, is really growing. So it's really good. And it's only going to benefit our environment, the way we live, the world we live in as a general, and our pockets as well. So living more sustainably can save us an awful lot of money, as much as it can be difficult to start with, and it can be something you need to get your head around and kind of make it become a habit or a way of life as well. In the long run, it can save you an awful lot of money. So it's really important, and it's quite a good motivational thing to get into as we're heading into 2023 to start helping with the cost of living, because everything's going to keep going up. It will. So at some point it's going to have to like plateau at some point, you hope, but it's the way of the world, inflation, everything has to go up. So to get into the habit of living more sustainably, saving yourself money where you can, it's really good. So this trend, as I say, is growing through 2023. It's grown, well, I must say it's grown legs. It's picked up with speed since 2021 right through this year, and now it's getting really going on 2023. So we're going to be seeing some new signs, I think, as we come into the new year, which shockingly is only a few weeks away. And number 5, so that was sustainability, sustainable gardening, basically. Again, if you are looking for any of the videos that I do or have done on sustainable gardening, I'll try and link as many as I can, or do a playlist of as many as I can and link those in the description for you so you can check those out. So that's fine. So number 5, just saying, you can see why I did do only 5, because I'll be here all night. So just saying. Where am I? Number 5, growing in succession. Now, I left this one till last as it's slightly less glamorous than the other 4, but actually very important and a great trend to be picked up on. So I did need to pick up on it. It's really good, really effective, because it's kind of a twist on the way I normally talk about succession. So I've spoken obviously about succession growing before. For many years I've been talking about succession growing, various forms. When it comes to your veg patch, more than what we're talking about today, which is about, or in like smaller gardens and stuff as well. But today we're focusing on flowers, which is new for me to talk about succession growing in the form of flowers in your garden. So should be interesting. This kind of goes hand in hand with the first trend, making space work harder for you as well. With succession growing, you sow a small number of seeds, just trying to explain it in brief terms, small number of seeds, or plant out a small number of plants to fill a space. And as something always has something to follow on. So as it dies off, or in the case of veg, as it gets harvested, there is another batch ready to go. So you either sow the seeds and they're coming up as the other ones are harvested, going back to veg again, or you have plants in line ready to plant as you're harvesting. So it's a nice constant flow succession. It's a succession of plants, one after the other, after the other, after the other. So that's what we're talking about with flowers though. So in your garden, when it comes to flowers, it could be spring bedding as an example, kind of way you could think about it. So we've got spring bedding and perennials and spring bulbs. They will move through into the early summer bulbs and perennials. So as the spring bulbs kind of die back and the summers pick up and the perennials pick up, and then as the summer bulbs and the perennials die back, the late summer bulbs and the winter bedding will pick up, and perennials, which will follow through the winter months into when the early spring bulbs pick up and come through, start the cycle again. So that's how you kind of sort of think about it. There's always something coming up as another thing's dying off. So it's a nice succession flow cycle, if you like. So yeah, as I say, it's something growing. There'll be something growing, something new to look at and to contribute to the garden with every season that passes and dies back. There's always something happening. Which, as I say, which means there's something new, always new for the insects and wildlife to look at. They don't care. They don't look at it. They just feed on it. So yeah, for the insects and wildlife living and visiting your garden to either feed on, use as bedding, anything like that. So something new for them in each season. So it's really good. Having a backbone of perennials, shrubs, and things like that to maintain structure and space. Hit my microphone. Structure and space. The succession planting, as you plant and grow the seeds, will grow in and around the backbone of the structure of the garden to create interest and succession through the seasons. But this can benefit the garden in many ways, which I'll get to now, which is probably more the benefits, I think, of this trend rather than the space-saving part of this trend, which is what I was trying to touch on. So this can benefit the garden in many ways, and it can reduce maintenance as well, so much less care involved, and promotes, I've written this in bullet points, so it doesn't really make sense in my brain at the moment. You can benefit your garden in many ways, and can as I say, reduce maintenance. There's less care involved. You can promote the health of your garden by improving the resilience by attracting beneficial insects in all year round, not just in the spring, summer, which is amazing. Like we were saying with the making your garden work better for you or stronger for you. The beneficial insects can manage the pest and disease damage, and having a good range of bulbs and roots. So like the bulb, say like bulb plants or corms, and then having perennials and bedding plants as well. The good range of bulbs and roots will help to support the soil, improve the condition, and support the insects living in the soil as well. So this is the kind of, to me, in my brain, the main benefit of having succession growing in with your flowers side of it, rather than like talking about in the veg patch. The main side of it is you've got things happening, new things growing and dying off all year round. So it's really nice for the insects, it's good for the soil, it's good for the overall health of your garden, and it's good for you because you've got things happening all year round, new things coming up, new interest happening. So it's really nice, and it's going to reduce maintenance for you and reduce care. So it's going to save you a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort in your garden. So to me, that is the real winner. Just saying. Right. So these 5 trends may seem simple. They do seem simple, and I tried to pick some less daunting ones. Some you might have heard of before to seem less daunting. So they may seem simple and easy to follow and pick up on, and they are, but they can also positively impact the way your garden can help to reduce the cost and stress involved in garden care, and how you can actively help to reduce the stress and cost and work involved in garden care as we move into 2023. Fly. Go away, fly. So I really do hope you've got, honestly, it's winter outside. Where do the flies come from? It's crazy. So I hope you got, it's not a fungus now either on the plants behind me. They're very good. They haven't got any. So I hope you got some inspiration. My brain's failing me now, so bear with me. I hope you got some inspiration and some value from this video, from this video, whichever. So yeah, as I said before, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, because it is important to help the channel obviously grow, help YouTube show me to more people. It's amazing. I appreciate it. I also appreciate if you subscribe. Love it. Any videos or anything I've mentioned through the live, I will link in the description and the comments for you, and in the group if you're watching in the group. So that's fine. I will link the group as well in the description for YouTube people if you would like to join. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment. Check I haven't got any because I haven't looked. No, that's fine. Feel free to comment below. If you're catching on replay, let me know you're catching on replay. But yeah, feel free to post your comments as you go, and I'll pick them up as I see them. I'll answer them as quickly as I can, as I always do. But yeah, feel free to comment whenever you like, so that's fine. In the group, if you want to comment under any of the posts that I do about the trends, the 5 trends I've talked about today, perfect. Feel free to do that, or post in the group yourself. Absolutely fine. You can also comment below this video as well. That's fine. But yes, so I can't think of anything else I need to say. If you, what I said earlier, yeah, if you, at the end of this, obviously we're at the end of this now, but if you go back through, if you want to watch it again, perfect. But if there's any of these that you think you either already do or that you're going to pick up on for 2023, you feel inspired to pick up on them, let me know in the comments, because it'd be interesting to see which ones more people actually, I might do a poll on it, which ones people actually do already and which ones they're going to be carrying on with or picking up for in 2023, which could be interesting, because that might be a good indication that they're going to be a keeper and they won't become trends anymore so much of a way of life, which would be nice. So I might do that as a poll. Watch this space. But yes, so I think that's it. That's all my notes. That's perfect. So thank you for joining me today or tonight. I will see you next week for the very last, I'm trying to think when the next one is. For the last, anyway, next week's the last Natural Gardening Live of 2022. I think I'm back on the 10th of January. So don't worry, it's not that long I'm away for. So that's fine. So yeah, I'll be back 10th of January. I can't think what I'm going to be doing on 10th of January yet. I haven't even planned next week, so I don't think so. Look out for those when they come up. You'll see them very soon, I'm sure. Have a great evening. Check out the links in the description. Subscribe, like, whatever you want to do, all the little things. Absolutely perfect. And I will see you all later. So have a great evening, and I'll catch you again soon. See you later.